Hello, this is Bopo, your Archer author, and today we're here to write another poem. Now, really quickly, there are two main types of poetry: constrained writing and free verse. The best way I like to think of the difference between constrained writing and free verse is the soft magic system for fantasy literature, whereas constrained writing is the hard magic system for fantasy literature, because with constrained writing, a literary technique in which the writer is bound by some conditions that forbids certain things or imposes a certain pattern. There are a lot of different variations of constrained writing, such as haikus, limericks, stanza counts, meter counts, etc., who knows what. Whereas free verse, it's kind of anything goes. And so I'm a much bigger fan of constrained writing. So much so that my favorite resources that I like to use to streamline my outlining process are included but not limited to rhymezone.com to search for various rhymes, thesaurus.com to search for various synonyms, yourdictionary.com with the word finder specifically to find specific words, and Grok to provide random prompts to me. Or if you would like to provide me a prompt, you can go ahead to my YouTube channel and you can give me a comment. There's plenty of space here, as you can see from the amount of comments that I have. Granted, it was my first video. But anyways, moving on to today's poetry prompts that Grok has provided to me. The random poetry prompt that Grok gave me was: write a poem from the perspective of an everyday object that has secretly witnessed something life-changing or life-ending about its owner, but the object can never speak or intervene. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and create a blank new document, and we're going to start outlining this poem. Yep, there we go. So let's see here. So it says, right from the perspective of an everyday object that has secretly witnessed. Okay, so if we go over here, well, this actually requires a little bit of brainstorming. So let me think what I would like to write. But in the meantime, here is the rhyme scheme that it chose. This is a little bit odd because it's a 6-line rhyme scheme, which is something that I'm not used to doing. So the rhyme scheme that we'll put here is A, B, A, C, B, C. Now let's see how many stanzas that Grok gave me. It said 2, much better than the whopping 1 from last time. So all we have to do here is do this, copy, and then we'll do that. Now, because this is a little bit weird, I will probably write it in little couplet forms and then combine it all together just to make it a little bit more absorbable to write through. Now, we will currently call this poem number 2 by yours truly, Bo. Okay, now let me go ahead and brainstorm about what I would like to write here. After enough brainstorming, the object I chose is a doorknob. From the perspective of a doorknob, because I actually have very severe OCD. As a kid, it was far worse. I've gotten most of it controlled nowadays, but basically OCD is, the way my mom has described it, is this. You have these rules, but you can't tell people these rules because they're crazy. But the problem is people still violate these rules, which gives you anxiety. And so you start to freak out at them because they're violating your rules and they're giving you anxiety. But through their perplexion, you still refuse to tell them why you're anxious because you know it's crazy. And so that makes you feel crazy, and so thus that boils into more anxiety, and that is the vicious cycle of OCD, where you are the literal definition of insanity, trying the same things over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And so the thing that I would do oftentimes with doorknobs is I would Basically, I have a very specific count and a very specific way that I need to touch a doorknob before I leave every room. And if I don't touch it in the right way, then I will have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And so I already thought of an idea for this poem. I'm going to call it The Doorknob Snob. Basically, the doorknob that I'm going to be writing this on the perspective of is, why is my master being weird with a doorknob? I don't understand this. Like, I'm just a normal doorknob, rusted bronze knob. Actually, I could say that as a rusted bronze knob. Because of that, the doorknob is perplexed why the master is so obsessed with it and why it won't leave the doorway. So let's think of some things here to figure out some rhymes here. So the immediate thing that I'm thinking of is to grab. Now, I'm going to really quickly go into thesaurus.com and see if there's any good synonyms for grab. Okay, really quickly, let's see. I'm searching for words that would be compatible. Scab, crab, rab, slab, stab, lab, mab. These don't really work great, and the rest are pretty derivative of the rest. So I'm not going to choose grab. I like clutch, so let's go back, put in clutch. Dutch, smutch, such, much, crutch, touch. So far, the only thing that's really relevant is crutch, touch. And the rest, again, is derivative, so it doesn't really work great. Okay, so going back here, grapple. I know there's not going to be very many words for that. Clasp. There's not going to be very many words for that. Ooh, grip. Let's try grip. So if we pull up grip, yeah, there's a lot more words for this. So let's see here. We have grip, drip, flip, strip. No, tip. Oh, we have trip. I do like that. Like sometimes I would trip on my way to touch the doorknob. Let's see here. We also have skip, meaning that I cannot skip my ritual. I have to keep it perfect. So, and then let's see here. And oh yeah, slip. There we go. Because oftentimes I have also slipped. I guess that's very similar on trip. But anyways, let me go ahead and put these in here. We'll do grip. And we'll go ahead. Let's do this for the first one. We'll do slip. We'll do trip. And for the A's, we will do skip. Boop. So that's what we have so far for the IP rhymes. Now let's go ahead and figure out the other rhymes. So normally I would figure out the C's before figuring out the B's because the B is straight in the center. However, I have an idea for the B's. Since this is about a doorknob, let's do the rhyme knob. Okay, we got blob, we got glob, we got gob, mob, swab, throb. I like throb. I like throb a lot. Now, prob is good, but at the same time, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit weird to refer to problem. So I like throb. I like rob, as in this is my life that the doorknob is robbing. I already have slob. Wait, no. It was snob. I could do slob or sob. Let me think here. So I think I'm going to do slob, rob, throb, and then one more. Oh! My head, since I struggle with tremors as well, my head bobs because I'm having anxiety. I have various different twitches and tics and tremors. So my head is bobbing because of this. So I'll go ahead and put those rhymes here. So let's see here. We got bob. We got throb. Slob. And what was the other one? Rob. Yep, there we go. We got Rob. Okay, now let me think of the last pair of rhymes. Well, I couldn't really think of too much, so going over to the first, as a rusted bronze knob, I could feel the master's grip. Let's do that. I could feel the master's grip. And something that deals with head bob. And then I will slip. Ooh. What if because my hands are throbbing because I'm so sweaty, and because I'm sweaty, then the doorknob thinks I'm a threat because I'm violating it unintentionally. So let's see here, sweat. I already have threat on my mind. We have det, let, pet. That would get weird with the doorknob. Net, because, well, I guess that would be metaphorical. I'm not going to use net. Oh, sunset. So that could, like, totally be the last rhyme, which means, like, I wish my master knew that doorknobs are meant to be the way to life's sunset. I'm going to do path. I wish my master knew that doorknobs are meant to be the path to life's sunset. Okay, I like that. So that'll be the closing, meaning that the purpose of a doorknob is to be a passageway. It's not meant to be a prison. So the last rhyme. There we go. I like that one a lot. It's literally what this is all about. So let's say that maybe this is the moment that the doorknob finds out. It's something with a Prozac bottle that the doorknob notices, and he's like, oh, I now understand his mindset. I now understand my master's mindset. How could I make this shorter? I now know his mindset. Okay, I like that a lot. So then let's put threat over here and then sweat over here, and boom, we have the outline. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell you basically the story here that I've imagined here. The doorknob snob. As a rusted bronze snob, I could feel the master's grip. And so it's from the perspective of the doorknob, and my head is bobbing with anxiety, and I am about to slip, trying to make sure that I sprint back to make sure that I did it right. And because of this, I have a bunch of stressful sweat. Actually, I think I will write that. Stressful sweat. and then I will have my hand is throbbing after it, and then the doorknob is asking, he molests me as if I am a... No, let's do I'm a threat. There we go. That is much better. So, he molests me as if I'm a threat. Then I... Well... Here, let's do this. So, let's talk about something about, like, he's always late. He's... Why? Let's do this. Why is he always late to his dates, jobs, and his last trip? I like that. And so with this one, it's talking about skip, which is something with ritual that he won't skip. Something about twist and turn. Twist and turn. His ritual, he won't skip. Interesting. Actually, I think this probably works better with slob, since that's why the doorknob is a snob, because it thinks I'm a slob because of my sweat, and because of me basically treating the doorknob as a bop it, my hand is throbbing. His hand to throb. Then he's always late to his dates, jobs, and his last trip. Somehow sees the Prozac bottle. His life to rob. His life to rob. I wish my master knew that doorknobs are meant to be the path to life's sunset. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write out the rest of this, and you'll see the transition pretty soon. Okay, so this is the poem that I wrote from this. There's a few adjustments that I've made, obviously keeping the, I think this is a pretty solid poem to describe the anxiety of OCD, and to be blunt, the a little bit kind of dumb that OCD tends to be, but just taking out these capitalized words, and then now we will get rid of these in preparation for the reading. So, tell me what you think in the comments. And if you have a prompt that you would like me to do, whether that be stanza count, anything but free verse. If you would like me to do free verse, if this video reaches 1,000 likes, then I shall do a free verse poem in the future. But anyways, because this poem has, remember, 2 stanzas, we will exit these out, and boom, we are done. Here we go. As a rusted bronze knob, I could feel the master's grip. Placed into a door, I knew he has a twitchy shake and head bob. He often sprints back to feel once more until just right, but will slip. In my keyhole, I always drown in his salty streams of stressful sweat. Too little time to wash his hands, an inconsiderate slob. He anxiously yanks on me and molests me as if I'm a threat. He refuses to miss his 17th turn and twist, his ritual he won't skip. Day by day he cries and curses to get the right count, though his hands throb. Why is he obsessed with me and always late for his jobs, dates, and his last trip? He crashes onto the floor, dropping his Prozac bottle. I now know his mindset. He is obsessed in his doubts and is insane with rules for his life to rob. I wish my master knew that doorknobs are meant to be the path to life's sunset. Thank you so much for watching this video of me writing the poem The Doorknob Snob. And leave a like and subscribe, and follow my other accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you have a prompt that you would like to suggest, then I will do so and prioritize your name if you like and subscribe, and I will leave your name on my list of suggested prompts. But in the meantime, this is Bopo, your archer author, and I hope to see you at the archery range in the library. See ya!